What's going on, everybody? It's Matt with the Invest Investments Group, and we're back with the hot stock picks for the week. We're going to get right into it here. This is the first pick right here for next week. It is in a consolidating mode, as you can see. It's had its high here at about $84, and it's been in this consolidating mode for now for about a couple weeks. This is NHI, ticker symbol NHI. If we zoom in here, we can see that it has had multiple times it's tried to break this resistance line. So we can wait until we see a break above, I don't know, like $80 here, and then wait for the pullback and get in for a possible 4.5 to 5%. So this is a good one to keep in mind. I like this pattern, this uptrending pattern. So that's a nice one that we're going to be watching next week. The next one we're going to be looking at is SSYS. This one is similar to NHI. It's got that same pattern, the highs and lows. It's been uptrending pretty consistently. We zoom in here. We want to wait for a break above about 24.50 here. And once we see a break above that, we know that it's has a possibility to uptrend. And we'll wait for the break above and then the pullback, and then we can buy in on the pullback and ride it up to about $28, $29, which is a good percentage, about 15% here. So we can get in here, set the stop loss down here at about its low point, and if it breaks below, then we know, okay, it's not trending up. But we have a risk reward here about 4% loss compared to a 15% gain. So that's a good. We got 3 to 1 ratio there, which is a nice ratio to have. You want to have something at least 2 to 1. Really 2.5 to 1 is better. But that is a good percentage. The more of those that you take, when it's 3 to 1, 2.5 to 1, you're gonna eventually come out positive from your profits if you stick to that same plan. Let's see, what's the next one here? Next one's going to be BNFT. This is another one we were watching last week, but it was in consolidating mode for quite a while here. For several weeks. It has that uptrending pattern, up, pulled back, it came up, pulled back, and now it's finally broken out of that quite a long consolidation period. And now we can do one of two things. We could get in now, or we could wait for a pullback back to the EMA line a little closer. This is a kind of tough one because we could start seeing this SMA line, the green line, acting as a resistance instead of a support line like it was back here. It was more of a support, and then it came up. But we have seen this before where it's come up and then it's come down, consolidated for quite a while, and then pushed up. But there was a earnings that influenced the volume and everything, but you never know. So we could take a position, a small position. If it keeps trending up, that's great. We'll just wait, and then once it pulls back, we can add to the position, and then if it starts trending up, we can stick with the position. But if it starts pulling back below the EMA line, then we might start to say, hey, we need to lower the position, or we need to exit the position altogether. But this is a nice one. It's got a possibility of back to the first resistance here, 7% to 20%. Depends on how much you want to risk playing the game, I guess you could call it. Alright, so the next one is going to be OHI. Ticker symbol OHI. This is another one with the same kind of pattern, but it's been uptrending for the whole last week pretty much. So this is a good one to continue for next week. We can see a possibility of about 3% here, nice 3%. It's one you could take a bigger position on and not have to worry. If it starts to break below the EMA, then we know to exit that position. So this is a nice steady one. Nice position. Nice trending. Another one here is IO, ticker symbol IO. Now this one has been trending up ever since it broke above the SMA line. And it's had these let me get rid of some of these lines here. Hold on. This is too many lines. It's making it confusing. So it's been pushing up. It pulls back, but it pulls below the EMA line. But then it starts to trend back up again. It has this pattern to pull below and then push back up. So it's kind of got this diagonal pattern coming here, as you can see, in this little channel. So we're at that point again where it has a possibility to push up like it was before. It pulled below the EMA line. It pulled below, and now it's coming. It's consolidating, and we're waiting for the break. It did break Friday, but it got rejected, and now it's back down where it was before. So this one has a possibility of 18% if it comes back to where it was, and if it goes higher than what it was. So we could see it come up to here, which is 23-25%. So but it is a little more riskier, and you have to realize that it could pull back to this SMA line completely, the green line. So one to keep in mind. Those are the top ones for next week. We're going to go through just a couple that are in pending reversal for the weeks to come. First one's going to be VCEL. This is one that's at the SMA line. We're waiting for the break above. Right here at about, $17, $18 to ride the wave back up for about 15%. But we're still waiting for the confirmation. Next one's going to be MCHP. There's another one at the SMA line. Possibility to bounce about, 8%? 9%. Again, we're waiting for that one. Next one's ERIC, Eric. This is a good one. It's at the SMA line. We're waiting for the confirmation. 5-6%. It is one that it has been it was trending up, and now it's kind of consolidating, and now it's starting to show another signs of trending back up. So you got to watch. It could start trending back down again. And the final one's gonna be FFIN. This is a real swinger. This is a real great one if you wanna look at horizontal patterns here. So yeah, it was trending up. It's come down, shot way up, and now it's came back to where it was, a couple months ago or whatever, back in the beginning of the year, and it's trended up almost to back where it was, about $66, more like 65. Now it's come back down, and it bounced right on that support line again, right there, at about $54. So, and it's already starting to trend back up again. We're looking at the MACD here; it's shooting way up. It's looking good. The RSI is still in that good range, about 53. Hasn't got up to 70 yet. So we could see this come back up, 8%, maybe 12%. You got to watch out for that SMA line, because last time it did reject it a little bit. As you can see, it's come up and then had a couple days where it was struggling, but then eventually pushed up. And there's some crazy candles here where it pushed way down. I mean, this is 7%, and then it pushed back up. So we got to keep in mind for that. Oh, so that's all that. That's all for the week, guys. All these will be on the chat room, and it's in the link in the description. And let's keep next week green. Take care.